Welcome to episode 51 of the VR Gaming Podcast. I forgot to say episode 50 last time. Wouldn't most people kind of go, it's episode 50?
No.
No? Oh, okay. Maybe once, if we ever get to 100. Maybe I'll do that. So I'm Justin, MAME fan, and that's Alex, Virtual Insider.
Hi.
Alex, what your last video, was it like Half-Life Alex levels, or was it Arizona Sunshine 2? I can't remember.
Half-Life Alex. Source
Okay, yeah.
2 thingy, yeah.
Oh, yeah, all right. I still haven't played any of those levels you recommended. Still.
Unbelievable.
I know.
Unbelievable.
Actually, this past month was pretty much a drought of new games. There wasn't much coming out at all, was there?
No, and you still didn't play them.
And I still didn't. Yeah, I definitely need to. It's like it's a game I've already beaten, so I just kind of forget about it. But yeah,
It's new stuff, though.
I know. I need to put that on my list. I have a backlog list of all these games that I need to get back to, and I need to add that to the list to remind me. Well, that's what this podcast for me is going to be. A bunch of games I just went back to. Or like games that I bought and I just never got around to playing. So we talked already about Bulletstorm VR, and I beat it, but it only took 5 hours. I didn't know this game was that short. It's just 5 hours long. I enjoyed it. You know, it's very basic. You're just, it feels like a kind of a Quake style game. There's not much to it, but they do add these Trishka levels. And in the original Bulletstorm, which I never played, you didn't ever get to play as Trishka. But in this VR version, they add 2 Trishka levels where she has an energy blade weapon on her left arm, and I thought that was really cool. I liked using that. It actually made me feel overpowered. See, there's a blade right there, and I could just decimate all the enemies and decapitate them all. The game was way too easy. So if you get this game, maybe increase the difficulty, because normal was just no challenge. The only times I died were when I was just being completely careless and just letting the enemies hit me, because I was just like, I'm not gonna die, but I actually did die a couple times. So one annoying thing with this game was almost every time I loaded it up, there was no sound. So I had to go to the desktop and click on the game window to make the sound, turn on. Did that happen to you, Alex, when you played it?
No, I don't think so, but that's like an Unreal Engine thing, that if you don't have the game focused, for some reason it doesn't do the sound.
But there were no other windows on top of it. It's really weird. There was no Steam VR window on it or virtual desktop or anything.
It's weird.
Yeah. So then another thing, there's texture issues. The type of issue you'll often see in a VR mod, where some textures don't look quite right. Just like in that Aliens game we played together with UEVR, where some textures they don't look like, they look different in left eye versus the right eye, so they look strange. There were a lot of instances of that in this game. It's like they took the original game and they didn't really VRify it enough.
Well, it was originally in Unreal Engine 3, and then they've had to convert it to Unreal Engine 4. So they've had to literally remake, take all the assets and redo the game kind of completely in a way. So they should have obviously fixed that stuff, but it seems like they've just made with the flat game kind of effects and not bothered trying to find alternatives, I guess. Yeah.
It does have physics though, where your hands don't go through the environment, and that impressed me. And gun, I can't remember for the gun. If you're holding a gun, does it go through the environment? I don't think so. I feel like they were being stopped by the walls and everything. And a lot of VR games don't do that. I'm going to talk later about one that doesn't. So I think in the trailer, there's this giant wheel that's coming after you. So that was one of the cooler scenes in the game. But it was mostly kind of like you're just watching this giant wheel there were points where you have to like, I think you had to like move. Maybe you had to do your leash fast enough, like to redirect the wheel so that it would go like more to the right and then avoid you. And maybe if you didn't do it fast enough, maybe the wheel would crush you. I don't know. Um, let's see. You did say there's not enough recoil in the
Yeah.
guns, right? Yeah, there
Yeah.
is some recoil. And when we say recoil, we don't mean there are haptics, but it's just in the game the gun doesn't vibrate,
Yeah,
it
it just
doesn't shake
it doesn't
much.
it doesn't move, so, like, you can one hand
Yeah.
like a machine gun, and it just, like, doesn't or it
It
just fires 100% perfect
it does
accuracy.
move a little bit. I noticed it moves a little
Does
bit,
it?
but yeah, a
Okay.
little bit, but not much. And I actually liked that.
Did
I
you?
like I
Okay.
like being able to one hand a machine gun.
Yeah.
Like in a game like this,
You
because this is
you
like a
would.
yeah, this is a silly because I need my other hand for other things.
Yeah,
But
I think
anyway,
that's why they did it, but it's just I don't
this
know.
is
I just
a silly game that not to take seriously. It's not a
a
sim.
silly
It's
game.
silly. So
So silly.
I just like the one hand, and then I can have my other hand free to do whatever I want with it. So that's how I like to play a game like this. If I'm playing a game like Pavlov or
Mhm.
Contractors, whatever, yeah, I want to two hand it because it's more like a realistic game.
Mm.
But I just think it's more comfortable to use one hand.
You're used to using one hand, aren't you, in real life?
Yes, very much.
I need two hands, you see.
Oh, because you're such a large man.
Massive.
Yeah, that reminds me of the guy you play as in this game. He's Grayson. His name's Grayson, and he always has this kind of has this voice like this the whole time, and he's a large man. Um, the whole
Yeah.
time he just has this gruff
Or did that
voice.
make you feel a certain type of way?
It did.
Yeah.
It did act. Trishka made me feel a certain type of way as well. But when
Did
you
she?
play as Trishka, I noticed that a bunch of times. Okay, so you know how we were talking about when you do that sliding move where you slide really fast forward.
Yeah.
You end up seeing Grayson's feet. It doesn't even look like a woman's feet at all. And then there are a bunch of
Oh.
sound. Yeah, and then there are a bunch of sound effects that, like, while you're playing as Trishka, that sound like Grayson. Like you'll kick something, and instead of like, ah, it'll be, you know, ugh,
Ugh.
ugh. And yeah, it's like, all right, come on, you could have at least fixed that. Let's see. There was an interesting gun, a sniper rifle, where when you shoot, I've never seen this before. Once it's sort of like Sniper Elite, where you watch the bullet fly to the enemy, but once it gets
Right.
close to the enemy, you can direct where the bullet goes by moving your head, which I've never seen
Okay.
before. So that was kind of
Interesting.
cool. It's sort of like in Half-Life 2 or Half-Life 1 when you have the rocket launcher, the RPG, and it has a laser and you can guide it. Sort of
Right.
like that. Let's see. As I said, the game was too easy. So I was liking it until the end, and it ended. It was just 5 hours, and there was a cliffhanger ending where I was like, all right, that can't be it. There has to be some more levels after that. And actually, it was like, nope, here's the credits. And I was just like, what? So that really soured it. But it made it seem like they originally intended this to have a sequel, but I guess it never happened. Maybe this game didn't do
No,
well on flat.
I don't remember actually, but yeah, I think it's one of those games that's kind of become a bit of a cult classic, but I don't think it was like a big hit when it first released. So it never got another game, never got a sequel.
Okay, so another thing I saw in reviews that I didn't know because I never played the original, a lot of a lot of it was censored. So actually, the subtitles are there by default. The subtitles aren't censored, so they'll say all these curse words and all of this shit, but then in the audio you don't hear it,
Huh,
which
that's
seems
weird.
really strange because it would be really easy to just change the subtitles. The audio fixing that would be a lot more work, but
Yeah.
I saw some people complaining about that in the discussions, and then the developer said they're going to add back an option to put the profanity and stuff back in. But
Profanity.
I don't I don't know why they would take that out. That's so stupid.
Yeah, maybe it was a meta thing, like meta didn't
Oh.
want it in there because obviously there was something with Resident Evil 4, the VR Quest version, which had
Mhm.
stuff removed, and people weren't happy about that. I don't know. I don't care if someone swears or not, but
I
some
prefer
people
it.
you prefer it because yeah,
Yeah, of course. Um, and I think I already said there's some missing levels. I wouldn't notice that because I've never played it before, but people are complaining about that. So a lot of the mixed reviews or a lot of the bad reviews are because there's content missing and profanity missing. People also complained that there are like no graphics options. But just yesterday I saw on Steam that they did an update where now there are graphics options and you can change texture quality, shadow quality, volumetric fog, and anti-aliasing.
right,
Before you couldn't do any of that before.
right.
And this game though is $40. It's way too much for a 5-hour game. I would say $20, okay,
Yeah.
but no, not $40. And luckily, I didn't pay for it. Did you pay for it? Because I just played your copy. Did you pay for it?
No, I got a key.
Oh, you got a key. Okay.
Yeah,
All right.
I've not
Well,
played it really,
nobody
so
had to. Yeah, you only played it a little bit, right? And then,
yeah, I've been waiting for patches. Do you think it's worth playing now? Then they
uh,
fixed
y-
a lot of the issues, or
yeah, I think so. It's
okay,
worth playing. It's not worth buying for $40. No way.
right,
So
okay.
they need to do a sale. I don't know if they've. I don't think they've done any sales on this game yet. Uh,
No, not yet.
yeah. All right, your game,
What's my game?
Tin Hearts.
Tin Hearts. Did you try this?
No, well,
No.
actually, I feel like this came out years ago.
It did, yeah.
Yeah, and I played like a demo of it, maybe.
Yeah, it came out years ago into early access, and then it kind of like went silent. And then they
Hmm.
brought it out as a non-VR game, and then they added VR support back in, like last month, I think. So
Hmm.
yeah, I bought it because I quite liked what I played before, and I think it's really good actually. Tin Hearts is basically it's a puzzle game, but it's like a really super chill one. So you've got like these little toy soldiers. You open a toy box, and the toy soldiers kind of walk in a straight line. I guess it's kind of Lemmings-ish, but the soldiers they don't really die. You can pause time, rewind time, fast forward. So there's no like time pressure. You can kind of take your time and chill and just enjoy like just figuring out how to get them to the end rather than stressing about some of them dying and having to redo the level again. But yeah, it's just like it's got this really like visually it's great. It looks really nice in the VR headset. Like the attention to detail in the environments is really good. Lighting looks nice. Um, it's got really nice music. I really like the music. It's got this really chill like vibe and atmosphere. You get these little flashbacks. So like as you're going through the game, there's like a story that's being told through these flashbacks and letters that you find and things. And it's quite good actually. Quite liked the fact that they've got this little story going on to keep you like interested. The first act is kind of slow. Like they're teaching you obviously about the game, introducing little bits and bobs. But overall, it's kind of a bit too easy and a bit too slow at the start. But I recently got to Act Two, and it's just completely changed. It's like so much better now. I'm really enjoying it. Like you go to this music room, and you get these flashbacks from like the mother and daughter, like they're playing piano together and stuff, and the music kind of swells. And like as the little toy soldiers walk on different instruments, the music starts playing on that instrument and stuff. It's just really charming and kind of adorable. It's one of those things that you play and you just can't help but smile and makes you happy. Like it's we don't have enough of those games because everything's all about shooting and killing and stuff. So it's nice to have a game where you're not like rushing around. You can be chill. You can be in the atmosphere. If you like puzzle games, I definitely recommend it because it's got like a really cool puzzle mechanic where you're having to like move these toy soldiers from one point to another, but then they keep adding different elements. Like I just got to one point yesterday where you're one of the soldiers, you can actually possess that soldier and then you can move him around like with your thumbstick, like a little platformer. So now you can move him around and you can you've got to make him go to different points so that he can do things in the environment so the rest of the soldiers can get back. So it is like environmental hazards that you've got to do. You've got like drums that you can get them to jump on, balloons that they can fly on. Yeah, it's just a really cool puzzle game. It's cheap as well. It's only, I think, $20, and from what I've read, it's like 10 to 12 hours. So yeah, it's pretty good value, I'd say.
I'm not really understanding why it's coming out now.
I
Like
think it was in early access. They took it. I think it kind
they
of
took it off the
disappeared.
store.
I think so.
Okay,
Then
I'm gonna research this because I feel like it was so long ago that I played it.
oh, it was a long, long time ago. This is when I played this game with the OG Rift. That's how long ago it was. So
Yeah.
um, yeah, it's just I just think I'm really looking forward to like seeing what else the game has as well, because you start off in the attic, but then like now I'm in the main house. I'm going into the music room. I'm going to the daughter's bedroom, and like from the trailer you can see like sometimes you're going outside. You're going into a factory. So it looks like they add quite a lot of different environments and change things up a lot. So I think it's going to be a game that I'm going to really enjoy, and I definitely recommend it for anyone who's into puzzle games.
Yeah, I'm into puzzle games,
I'd try it then.
so I should try it. I mean, it's in your account.
Yep, you
Yeah.
should try it. I think it's really, like I said, the first act is really slow. So don't, like, if you're getting a bit bored and you think, well, is this it? Like, just keep going to the second act, because
Okay.
that's where it gets really good, in my opinion. That's where it like changes up and becomes way more. Uh, I think you'll enjoy it because like you've got a daughter, so I think you'll appreciate like the family aspect and stuff. Like with the,
Ah.
I think so.
Yeah, daughter stuff can definitely get to me. That'll,
Yeah,
man,
I'm
I
hoping,
could,
I'm hoping that doesn't get like sad or something. I'm hoping that they don't have some
yeah.
sort of weird fucking twist where something
Oh
bad
God.
happens, because I'm enjoying like the chill vibe of it right now. I'm enjoying the it's just got this really nice atmosphere that's like non-threatening. It's just happy. It's just like a happy place to be, even just
Hmm.
being in the environment. So yeah, it's
Hmm.
cool.
God, there's not many games where you're in a happy place. Usually you're just, having to survive. You're just fighting
Yeah,
off evil.
that's
Yeah.
why I think it's really refreshing to have something that's just really, and you'd think it's like a child's game, but it's not, because it is quite challenging at times, like trying to figure out what you need to do. So
Hmm.
I definitely don't think it's a really easy game.
Okay. You want to go to the next game?
Yeah.
All right. I thought this was going to be a child's game. This is Jurassic World Aftermath Collection, but from the start, I was like, oh shit, this is not for kids because you're on this helicopter and these pteranodons start attacking it. And the voice you're talking to, the woman you're talking to, she's just all like shit, shit, shit. She's cursing the whole time, and
Yeah.
I don't know if you saw that Tyrannosaurus Rex looking through the wreckage. Well, he ends up eating the pilot immediately. Like it's like
Really?
whoa, yeah. But you don't. There's no gore. You don't see the gore or
No,
anything.
no.
But you hear the guy like getting eaten by the Tyrannosaurus Rex. So I was like, oh shit, I am into this. This game is by Coatsink, the developer of
Mm.
Shadowpoint, that you and
Yep.
I that we both love.
Great game.
I think that's our favorite puzzle game, right?
Yeah, that's my favorite. Yeah.
Yeah. So first thing I noticed when I was in the helicopter, I was like, this is a little low res, and I could definitely see foveated rendering, like very noticeable foveated rendering, like on the top. So I was like,
You're on
all
the
right,
Quest
this
3, right?
yeah, on Quest 3, but this was made for Quest 1 and 2. That's when
Yeah.
this came out. So I was like, all right, this is a perfect chance to use Quest Games Optimizer. So I then ran it through Quest Games Optimizer, and then it looked awesome. It looked super high res and no foveated rendering. So that's all you got to do when these Quest games look shitty. Just do that, and then
Yeah.
they'll look great. So then, as I said, you're in this helicopter and they attack, and then when I first started noticing is, there are lots of there's a lot of set dressing. There's a lot of boxes and objects and everything everywhere, but you really can't interact with them. Your hands just go through it all,
Yeah.
which is how VR games were earlier on. pretty much your hands grip everything. So that was a little, but I think Shadowpoint was the same way. A lot of set dressing that you don't really interact with, right?
Yeah, I mean, it,
Yeah.
it, it feels like a basic. It is kind of basic, but I think it looks good. It looks pretty good in the headset. I'd say it's obviously got this very, it's very,
Cell shaded.
yeah. It's got like a cartoony, like
Mm-hmm.
everything's looks kind of hand drawn in a way, like you're in
Yeah.
like a comic book almost. But yeah, I think it looks pretty decent.
Yeah, it looks good especially once you use Quest Games Optimizer, definitely. So the dinosaurs are nicely animated, and they make like really believable dinosaur sounds.
Oh, the
And,
audio is great.
oh, you've already done it? I didn't know that.
I played a bit of a Quest 2, and I bought it on the PSVR 2 because it was on sale for £10. So I played some of that yesterday as well. So I've played both versions.
Oh, oh,
Yeah.
okay, all right.
I haven't finished it. I've just played like an hour or something.
Is the PSVR 2 version any different?
It looks better than the Quest 2 version. I mean, I didn't have like
Yeah,
the optimizer or anything, but
yeah,
like it looks clearer, sharper. The colors look better because obviously you've got the HDR and everything.
yeah.
I really like the way that they've used the haptics is really good. Like, do you know the beginning bit where you crash and everything?
Mm-hmm.
Like they use the rumble on the head a lot.
On the
So
head. Oh,
like when the T-Rex like stomps, every time it stomps, you feel like a vibration in your head as it like pounds around
oh,
you, which actually feels pretty cool. So yeah, the haptics feel really good on the PSVR 2 with that. And like I say,
cool.
I prefer it on the PSVR 2 compared to the Quest 2, but I haven't played the Quest 3 version.
Okay, as far as dinosaurs, you're going to see a T-Rex, you're going to see velociraptors a lot. That's the dinosaur you see the most. Pteranodon, Triceratops, Compsognathus, which is a compy. If you've ever,
Yeah,
like in Jurassic Park, I think they said compy.
yeah,
Brachiosaurus, and a Dilophosaurus. Now, the thing about Dilophosaurus is, so that was in Jurassic Park. That was the dinosaur that spits acid or whatever, and has those frills that stick out on the side. That
yeah.
dinosaur in reality doesn't do any of that shit. It doesn't stick
How
out
do they know that?
frills. How do they know it doesn't, or what?
Yeah, yeah.
Well, I mean, by studying its anatomy, they have fossils of it and all of that.
Mm.
I mean, that was just made up for the movie. They
Right.
just, I don't know, they wanted to make it more exciting or whatever.
Okay.
Uh, so
Got
in,
an expert over here.
the real Dilophosaurus doesn't have the frills, doesn't spit at you. But in this game, there's a scene where it's really dark and you have to use a flashlight. I really like flashlight scenes in VR because I don't know, something about you. Obviously, that's a good use of motion control,
Yeah.
and you just kind of never know what's around you, and it's 360 degrees, so it's just going to make it scarier. So in those scenes, the Dilophosaurus will pop out of like vents and stuff, and if you don't shine your flashlight on them fast enough, they'll spit at you, and then your vision is all blurry and screwed up, and you have to search for a pipe, like a water pipe, where you can wash your face, basically. And if you don't wash your face in time, you're dead.
Right.
And something interesting about those scenes, like when you're in the dark with the flashlight, there were dynamic shadows the whole time, which I was shocked by.
Oh.
So, like, if I moved my flashlight around, the shadows changed direction, just like you would expect in real life.
Yeah.
I was really surprised that was
The
because this was
Quest.
made for
Yeah.
Quest 1 and 2, yeah.
Mm.
So that was really impressive. And another thing, okay, like in Alien Isolation, if the alien sees you and you go hide in a locker or some shit, like it pretty
It
much
will
always
find
kills
you.
you anyway, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, well in this game, you can hide and then you're safe. It it doesn't so
Like,
it's less annoying.
yeah, it can't open. It does look. I've noticed it looks under tables and stuff sometimes, but
Oh,
like,
if you
yeah,
hide under a table, it can get you.
yeah,
But if you hide in a locker or if you go into a vent, it can't get you. You're safe.
which makes sense in a
Yeah.
way.
Yeah. So that makes it a lot less annoying. You have this compass watch that has an arrow on it that'll tell you where you need to go, which I found very helpful because I think I would have never beaten it. I beat this game. I think I wouldn't have been able to beat it without that because like there are places where this is a maze and
Yeah,
you're not
it's
gonna
kind of
know.
Metroidvania in a way where you kind of
Yeah.
you're like in a big complex and you kind of have to unlock areas and then there is some backtracking as well. So yeah, that
Yeah,
compass is like really handy to have.
yeah, and so there's a sprint mechanic where you can't sprint the whole time. Did you find that annoying? I want to be able to sprint the whole time, but then like you start hearing your heartbeat
All right,
race,
I
and
not
then you
got.
can't.
I don't sprint a lot in games for some reason. I tend to
Oh, you
just
don't.
walk around. Yeah.
I don't know. I guess I'm in a hurry.
Yeah. Yeah.
I thought the voice actor is this award-winning voice actor. I thought she was really good.
Yeah, she was.
Yeah, I read she's the voice of Abby in Last of Us 2, which I've never played.
No, I've not played it actually.
I've only played The Last of Us 1. And they have Jeff Goldblum as Dr. Ian Malcolm in this, doing voiceovers too.
It's a really well made game actually. Like the sound is really good. Like everything's
Yeah.
really polished as well. I think it's like I wish it was more realistic looking, but that's my only real complaint, I guess. Everything else, everything else feels pretty solid. Like you've got these little puzzle things. Like when you walk up to a door, you'll have to put your hand on it, and then you'll have to like do like a what's it called, Simon Says, or like a memory thing, or you'll have to
Yeah.
turn a dial and stuff. So
Those
they've got
do
like
get a
little bits.
little those do get a little tiring
Yeah,
after
I've
a
not got that
while.
far yet. Yeah.
Yeah, okay. There's some variety there. Yeah, some are this like Simon Says, some are like press the button when the moving thing is in the middle of the I don't know what you call that. Where this line is moving back and forth really fast and you have to push the button right when it's in the correct
Oh yeah,
spot,
that one's
that
kind of
type of
annoying.
thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Then there are ones where you have to turn a handle. I counted the number of times you had to turn it. You had to turn it 12 times. I was
Oh
like,
my god.
this is a little excessive where I have to turn this so many damn times to be able to get through this door. What one thing though, the ending I thought was bad. I wasn't satisfied.
Was that because they did like was that with both parts? Because they obviously had part one, and
Yeah,
then
this
did
is
you
part 1 and 2 together.
right? Because I know the first part like ended like they didn't really have an ending, so
Yeah.
I wasn't sure
Yeah,
if
and it got some negative reviews. I was looking at old reviews. People were giving it negative reviews because they didn't like the way it ended, and they were kind of pissed that it was a 2-part thing. But I read that that was because of COVID. The development of this game happened during COVID, and it
yeah
totally screwed up that.
they just released part of it early, but then
Yeah.
they didn't really make it clear on the launch that it was two parts. They kind of made it out like it was a full game.
Okay,
So
is that
obviously,
why?
if you buy it and then you get to a point where it's like, oh, to be continued, and then you have to pay extra for the DLC when it came out, which is like the extra part, which it was a bit
Yeah.
weird to be honest.
Yeah. Yeah, so I'm kind of a dinosaur nerd, so this was great for me. If you're not into dinosaurs, I wouldn't recommend it. But I have a 4-year-old daughter, so I'm way more into dinosaurs now than I was before that because I'm always reading about dinosaur stuff with her.
I
So I
actually went
know.
to Oxford, and they've got a museum there that's got a full size T Rex skeleton, like complete skeleton.
Yeah.
That was that I saw that a couple of weeks ago. Yeah, that was pretty cool.
Yeah. Cool. Yeah, I went to the national uh
History.
natural history museum with my daughter recently too, and we saw dinosaurs. I can't remember. Yeah, I think they had a T-Rex, kind of like a T-Rex posed. It wasn't a very big T-Rex though, but posed with a Triceratops, like they were fighting.
Yeah, this was a full size like big boy. It was pretty cool to see
Ah,
actually. Yeah,
big boy. Oh yeah, and
big
the
boy.
you see a big boy. You deal with a big boy T-Rex in this game, and it killed me many times actually.
Did it?
Yeah, yeah. Because
There's no
that's another thing.
combat.
Yeah, there's
It's
no
just kind of
combat,
like yeah,
but do you remember how a T-Rex sees you
you move
from the
in it.
movies? Hmm?
Movement.
Yeah, movement. So, like, you had to stay perfectly still, and if you move at all, like that T-Rex right there, if you're looking on YouTube right now, if
Right.
you move at all, it's like it eats you.
So you
So
have
there
to
are a
kind of
bunch of
stand still.
you have to stand perfectly still, and even when there was a part that was a little frustrating where like I was trying to get through it, and he just kept eating me, and I couldn't figure out what I needed to do, and I just kind of made my way through it somehow. So But yeah, I liked it a lot. Like I was thinking about while I was playing this, I was thinking I would rather play this than Asgard's Wrath 2.
Really?
Yeah,
Wow.
definitely. If I had to choose which one am I going to go back to playing, I'd rather play this.
Well,
Uh, yeah.
really do like dinosaurs.
Yes, I really do like dinosaurs, but I don't mean by that that this is a better game. That's not what I
No,
mean.
it's a
I'm
different
saying
game. I mean,
it's more enjoyable for me. It's more fun for me. Whereas Asgard's Wrath 2 just kind of was a chore
yeah.
for me.
This is more like concise. It's it just gets like Asgard Wrath's just obviously padded to fuck. So
Yeah.
whereas this is very linear, even though it's open, it's kind of very linear. You go through place to place as the game wants you to. So it's
And the video, it just reminded me. There's a scene where you're in a train, and the pteranodon. I see the pteranodon ran into the windshield. Where
yeah,
there's a scene where the pteranodons are poking at you with their beaks in the train. That was the most annoying scene in the whole game. Where I kept walking by them and they kept killing me, and I still am not quite sure what you're supposed to do there. Because they
right.
just kept killing me, and I had to try again and try again, and I was like, do I need to run? No, if I run, they kill me. All right, do I need to go slowly? Oh no, I don't know. I somehow got through it. So
You're very persistent, though. So
I am. I am. For the most part,
mm.
there's some games where I'll give up. Like I'll talk about one soon where I just was like, all right, I'm done.
Okay, it's interesting.
So now we're gonna go to your next game, Horizon Call of the Mountain.
Yeah, well, there was a sale on, uh, so I decided to pick Jurassic World Aftermath and this up on the PSVR 2,
Hmm.
and I'm actually really enjoying it. I think it's actually a pretty good game.
Hmm.
It's not obviously my expectations are like perfectly in check because I already know that this is like a climbing game with a bit of combat and a bit of story. So I wasn't expecting it to be like the non VR Horizon games. I knew exactly what I was getting for my money, and yeah, I was playing it last night, and I was like, it was like 11 o'clock at night, and I just wanted to keep playing it. I just thought it was really good.
Hmm.
Um, like basically, if you like the climb, you'll enjoy this because it's like the climb, but it looks better, and it's got a story, and it's got some combat, and it's got more traversal stuff like pickaxes and grappling hooks and stuff. So it's actually pretty good fun. I think the main problem is that it's short. I think from what I've read, it's like 8 hours or something. And then it's like a full price game at $60. So it's just like way too expensive. I put it on sale for like £40, I think, which I still think is probably a bit expensive, but it rarely goes on sale, and I just really want to play it, so I just thought, sod it, I'll just buy it.
Did you say how long this is?
I've not finished it, but apparently it's like 8 hours,
Okay.
something like that.
Okay.
So
Well, it's
yeah,
better
but
than
it's
Bulletstorm. Better than Bulletstorm.
yeah. I mean, it's
Yeah.
it's a really good game. I think it's a really good game. Like visually, it's absolutely incredible. One of the best VR games I've seen. And
Mm-hmm.
it's like even when you look off into the distance, it still looks really sharp. Not like ultra sharp, but you can still see like all the foliage. You can see the water running down and everything. It's like not really blurry or anything. And like they've got these people that talk to you, and like the facial animations are all like proper AAA quality. It's one of those games that we just don't get in VR very often with how great it looks. And like the combat's kind of a bit of a letdown because it's
That was my
very
next question.
orchestrated.
It's
Yeah.
very orchestrated. Okay.
You're kind of like on a path, like you're circle strafing around them, or you're like moving side to side. You can't have free movement to move around, and then you can use this dodge. You can use the right thumbstick to dodge left and right. So you kind of like, as they try and attack you, you can dodge out of the way. And obviously, it's all using the bow and arrow as well. So you're like constantly firing arrows at them. Game does have some crazy aim assist as default. It basically uses your eye tracking to aim arrow. So you can fire like you can see your arrow kind of like home in, like a homing missile on things. So I turned that off because it was kind of way too easy.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and yeah, now you've turned that off. It's a lot more challenging, like the combat and everything. And you've got like these targets, like as you go through the levels, they'll have these targets that are like in the levels hidden, and you have to find them and try and shoot them. And sometimes they're quite long distance, so you have to take a few shots, which adds like another element of the gameplay. Like as you're exploring, taking out these little targets and stuff.
Are the targets just like for a trophy or something?
Yeah, they're just achievements, but
Achievement, okay.
they're fun. I quite like finding them and like trying to shoot them with the bow and arrow. So I think
And if
it's.
you had the eye tracking thing turned on, what would it would just do one shot and it'd probably hit it?
Oh yeah, I was like, at first I didn't realize. I was like, wow, my aim's really fucking good. Then I noticed that it was like one of them. It was kind of you could see the arrow kind of like curve and
Yeah.
hit the target. And I was like, what the hell is that? So then I looked in the options. Yeah, you've got like aim assist that you can turn off, and it's just crazy accurate if you keep it on.
I wonder how many people think they're just badass archers when they play
Most
this.
people probably. Yeah, they're probably like,
Yeah.
oh god, look, I'm really good at this game. Yeah, but
Yeah.
yeah, it's like it's basically like an auto aim also because it's just tracking your eye, and obviously you can aim with your eye with pinpoint precision. So wherever your eye's focused, the arrow will kind of just go there.
Hmm.
But yeah, the
Okay.
game's great. I think the pacing's good. You've got bits where you're climbing. You've got some minor puzzle elements where you've got to kind of figure things out, how to get to the next area. You've got little bits of combat. It changes up the environments so that there's different environments that you have to do. You get different upgrades where you can craft like these pickaxes where you can like you'll have to like jump across like a gap and then use your pickaxe to like stick it in the wall, and then you kind of climb by like sticking the pickaxes one hand after the other, which feels really cool.
There's a National Geographic game on Quest where you do that with pickaxes. They reminded me
Yeah,
of that.
it's like that. Yeah, you're doing that using a grappling hook sometimes. Yeah, it's just I like it. I just think the main problem is the price for the how long it is. But if you can grab it on a sale, I definitely think it's worth checking out. If you like the climb, if you like the climbing and the climb and stuff, then I think it's worth it. Some people said it had too much climbing, but so far I'm not finding that's a problem. I'm enjoying the
What
balance of
about
the gameplay.
reprojection? Because I heard people saying they can't play this because of reprojection, but it
I
didn't
don't
bother you?
notice it
Oh,
because I'm literally physically turning my body. I'm not
yeah.
using smooth turn.
Yeah, so that's how I would play. So if you do that, there's no reprojection?
I mean, you can probably see it sometimes, but it's like it's not bad. It's perfectly playable.
Oh, okay.
I'm not really noticing. That's the thing, like, because when people were talking about it all the time, I knew kind of that it was just people who play in smooth turn, which is why it
Mhm.
didn't really bother me that much. Like I've played Resident Evil 4, I've played Gran Turismo 7, and this, and I can play them no problems, even though they are reprojecting. So maybe I'm just not sensitive to it. I don't know, but yeah, to me it looks fine. It's not an issue.
Okay, well, speaking of this, recently Horizon Forbidden West got a VR mod, but it's a Luke Ross VR mod. So
Yeah.
I haven't tested it. I mean, the game is $60. So I don't know about that. I don't know. I haven't looked for any videos or any reviews of like how well it performs, but I just thought I'd mention it. That's out now.
It'll probably. I mean, if the first game was kind of heavy, I think the second game's going to be really. If you've not got like a
Yeah.
4090, yeah, I think it's probably not going to
Well,
be worth trying out.
I have a 4090, but I think my CPU would be a problem. So I really need to upgrade my CPU, and then maybe I'll try it.
I really don't
Um,
like his mods though. I just don't
yeah, I mean I don't
enjoy
either,
his
but
mods. Yeah.
with these games though, there's no choice. If you want to play it in VR, then
Yeah,
you know
true. They are good
I like
games. Like the
I
Horizon
liked
games are good.
Horizon Zero Dawn in VR a lot. I played it all the way through it and did the DLC. Um,
Yeah.
so
So you probably enjoy the other one.
yeah. So also, I didn't know this, but he must have come out with these recently. Far Cry Primal, Far Cry 4, and Far Cry New Dawn. Luke Ross has done mods of those too. I had no idea. I knew about Far Cry 5 and 6, but not those other ones. And I own all of those, so
You
I'd
should
like to
try them.
try
Yeah.
them. I'll wait till I get a better
They'll
CPU. Maybe I'll.
probably
Yeah.
they'll probably run better because they're older games, and I
Yeah.
think that some of them use MSAA, so they're not using temporal anti-aliasing, which is where you get like all the ghosting and shit. So
Mm-hmm.
they could actually look really good. Some of like, especially Far Cry 3. I think that's one that is that one
Far
on the
Cry 3
list.
doesn't have a mod. No.
Oh, that's
It's
okay.
Primal 4 and New Dawn.
Yeah. If
Far
you've
Cry
owned them,
3,
then
yeah, that
you
came
know,
out a long time ago. That should be no problem to run,
yeah.
I think. Um, so anything else on Horizon?
I think it's a great game. I think it got quite a lot of bad rep, I feel like, when it came out. Like, people complained about it, but yeah, I mean, if you want a AAA game in VR that's like absolutely stunningly beautiful, and I think it's like really polished. There's no bugs or anything. I think it's a really good game. I like it.
Do you run your display at full brightness?
Yeah, full brightness.
Full brightness,
And
okay.
you don't notice it because it's so bright as well. Like, you don't notice the mirror that much on this game, so it's like it looks
Oh,
pretty good.
okay.
Like, the HDRs, like, because you're in these bright, vivid environments, like, you can really get that intensity of the brightness as well. It's really good. I think it complements well with the PSVR 2 headset, I think.
Okay. I'm gonna go to my next game is a medieval VR. This is like I did a video of this game. This game came out, I don't know, a little while back. And I never finished it. So I was just like looking at my games I need to finish list and this was on it. So I beat it. And I mean I enjoyed it a lot. It's fun, but you have to like retro style. This is, like Quake, and this is
Yeah.
a lot like Heretic because you don't have any guns in this game. It's all like staffs and swords. And like if you swing the sword, it shoots, like a projectile at it, or you'll have a wand that shoots at stuff. So there's a weapon that serves as, I think this is what if you're watching the video on YouTube, well, it went away. It's a planet launcher.
Oh,
It shoots planets, and that's like your rocket launcher. So this game is really fast. So of course I put it up to always run because that just feels the best. And then there's no fall damage. I love games with no fall damage. You just drop from any height, many stories up in the air, and you drop down, and nothing happens to you. And there's some really crazy looking levels like that I've never seen anything like them before. There's 7 episodes. I think each episode has 4 levels, and each episode has completely different enemies, so you don't see them reused at all, which is cool. And so toward the end, there's the final levels are like called the Void, and they're these really trippy levels with like angled floors and like Escher, like Escher stairs, where like you can't even tell which way is up and which way is down, and like it's
right.
if you what you're seeing in the video isn't what I'm talking about. These are earlier levels. It gets really crazy where you're gonna get lost, but it was cool. The
Yeah.
final boss was a letdown. I'll say that. But it was like too easy. But this game actually is. I think it is too easy for the most part. So maybe I did the normal difficulty. Maybe you'd want to do a higher difficulty.
Yeah.
But it's fun, and I guess that's all I have to say about it.
That's all I got to say about that. That's
Yeah. What's
I
that
tried it in
from?
this
That
Forrest Gump.
Oh yeah. Forrest Gump. What were you saying? You tried a medieval?
I tried it, but it's just too retro for me. I don't like
Yeah.
this sort of stuff.
Oh, another thing. Yeah, this is retro, but it's pretty hard on performance. I had to put the
Yeah, I noticed
shadows.
that actually.
I had to put the shadows to low to get
Surprisingly,
good
quite
performance.
performance. Yeah, because it doesn't look particularly anything special. So you wouldn't expect. And they brought it to the Quest as well, so I don't know how it runs on the Quest, but
Yeah. I
um,
don't know. You don't have any other games to talk about, do you?
I think I can talk about some of the stuff you've played.
Okay. Which one? Crimen?
Crimen, yeah, I
Crimen?
played some of that.
Okay.
Yeah,
You didn't beat it?
I'm towards the end. I've got to
Okay.
the guy with he's like an Arabian guy, I think, or something.
Okay. Yeah, I beat it. It took like 3 hours. I think I paid like $5, so I thought it was a great deal. I had fun with it. But it's not. It's by Carbon Studio, the developers of the Wizards.
Yeah,
So it's by a good developer, but it's I don't know what to exactly characterize it as. It's silly. It's silly
great.
sword fighting.
So it's another silly game.
It's
I like
another
silly.
silly one.
Oh,
Yeah.
silly.
Yeah. So what did you think?
I like it. I think it's like, I mean, maybe my expectations were low. But you did say, I mean,
Okay.
I'm actually making a video about it for the channel actually because
Oh, really?
I just think it's like
Oh,
a game that people don't know about, and I think it's fun enough that it should be a game people know about. So I'm
yeah.
making a video going over the game.
Huh.
Yeah, it's just got a really cool. I like the sword play, like the way that they've done the parry system and everything. Like it's
Hmm.
not like you can still swing and hit them if you want, but like the damage is obviously a lot weaker. So you have to kind of wait for them to swing, and then you block, and then you can parry, and then like that'll hurt them a lot more. So you can kill enemies way quicker if you kind of wait for them to swing at you first, and then you can kind of parry them and kill them. But then there's
Hmm.
this stuff as well. Like I love the way that they have like sometimes the enemies will shoot out like a gun will fly in the air. So like you go like it comes towards your face, and then it's slow motion. You can catch the gun and you can shoot them
Oh, yeah.
back and stuff. There's moments like that which are really cool. Yeah, they do a really good job of like adding more and more to it, like with the arrows. So like with the arrows, you can hit the arrows back up into the air and then hit them back, and then it fires the arrow back towards the enemy and stuff. It's like
Yeah, I've never
they've
seen
really
that
thought
before.
about. Yeah, it's just like really cool little. They've taken swordplay, but they've come up with as many little cool mechanics as they can to like add to it. So it's not just you just swinging constantly. You have to swing in a certain direction. You might have like certain. There'll be a guy with a shield, and you've got to like knock his shield out of the way by swinging and hitting his shield um, in certain directions to then open him up for attack. So it's like it's got like technical side of things where you've got to move your hands in a certain way. You can't just swing wildly. You can't just wiggle your wrists. Uh, yeah, I think it's. I like the system. Really like the system they've got. I like the fact that they've got these little stories as well. Even though the voice
Hmm.
acting's terrible, I just like that they've got each location is different and stuff. Yeah, I
Yeah.
think it's decent. It's not like a great game, but I think it's a decent game. At $5, it's like an easy buy, I think.
Yeah. Did you get the shit on a stick and stick it in the enemy's face? Did you ever get that? A
Didn't,
turd?
no,
A
I
turd?
I didn't even know you could
Oh,
do that.
sometimes in the game I got a turd on a stick, and then I could stick it in their faces, and the enemies, it would just incapacitate the enemies. They'd all hold their nose and go oh, and then they couldn't fight me, and I would just kept sticking it in their face. That was
That's
funny.
funny.
Yeah. So it's just there's silly stuff like that. You said the humor was cringy, but did any of it work
Not
for
really.
you? Uh,
It was just trying too hard. But I mean,
yeah.
it didn't ruin the game for me. But it got to the point where it was like so bad, it was kind of almost funny just because of how bad it was,
Yeah.
rather than you laughing at the jokes. It's more like, oh my god, this is freaking. Like there's one bit where you go to this castle to save a
Uh-huh.
princess or something, and
Oh yeah.
she's they say like, oh, she's a gold digger. So you're stealing all this money to try and like woo her with your money, and it turns out
Yeah.
she's a literal gold digger. So like she literally digs for gold, and it's just like
Yeah. Yeah, that
I was
was
like,
that was bad.
it was
Yeah.
like okay, yeah, that's I can. They were trying. It's like they genuinely seem to be trying to be funny, and it's like not
Yeah.
funny. So
Yeah. Yeah, I agree on that one. All right, I go to the next game.
yep.
All right. Warhammer Age of Sigmar Tempestfall. I don't know what the hell all that means. I don't know anything about Warhammer. I don't know if you do.
Oh, is this the Melee one from Carbon
Yeah,
Studios?
this is melee. Yeah, but you can also do some magic stuff with gestures
Yeah.
with your weapons. This I got this for like $5 because a Steam bundle where like I already had the Wizards and the Wizards Dark Times, and then because I had those, this was only like $5. Um, I mean, I would say for $5 it was worth it, but I've played about an hour and a half of this, and I don't think I can go back to it. It's just too boring. Like
Yeah, I bought this on launch and played. Thought it was fun at first, but yeah, it kind of it didn't hit. I stopped playing it after a while.
it's okay.
Um,
So the combat is so easy,
well, you're
and
really powerful, so you can like rip
yeah,
through them. Maybe it gets harder as you go. I don't know, but yeah, it
yeah,
was
maybe.
you kind of overpowered.
And your hands and your weapons go through everything. There's no physics. Like in the
Yeah,
everything in the environment. That's one thing that I don't like at all.
it looks nice though. I think
The
it looks
graphics are
pretty good.
really nice.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's like one of these games. There's a lot of games where the graphics are great, but then there isn't much else.
yeah,
When it first loaded in, when I first played it, I was like, "Oh, this is so blurry. This is terrible." A lot of their games, I guess the other Wizards game had that issue, and then you have
yeah,
to go into the options and increase the render distance, and maybe I had to mess with anti-aliasing to make it look good. Let's
yeah,
see. I just thought the combat was boring. All I had to do was just swing my weapon. I didn't have to really think. I didn't have to I didn't have to parry. I didn't have to really think about anything. Uh I like I think those wraiths look cool, but I ended up it's just I just kept fighting those wraiths and these skeletons where you just one hit and they're dead. I
yeah.
mean,
I feel like I should go back to it, but yeah, like you, I kind of just played it for a bit and then I just never touched it again.
yeah.
I don't think it's bad. I think it's just okay, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah, I'd say okay. I was confused. You get to this point where there are all these guys in gold armor, and I guess they're all your friends. And I
But
was
like the
kind of
hub area.
confused. Yeah, the hub area. I was kind of confused by the hub area and like figuring out like, well, all right, well, where do I go now? What do you want me to do now? It wasn't really explaining it very well.
Yeah.
I don't know. I was wandering around a lot trying to figure out like who am I talking to? Because all these people look the goddamn same. I don't know. They're like, go talk to Jessaflub. I'm
Oh
like,
yeah, I
all right,
remember
well,
that. Yeah.
which one is that? Because their names don't appear until you get right up on them, and there's a bunch of these gold armored people. I don't
Yeah.
know. So I guess we'll go to
What's that game called again? Tempest.
Warhammer Age of Sigmar
Yeah.
Tempestfall.
Yeah. So we give it a buy maybe on a cheap sale if
Yeah,
you've got nothing else to play.
yeah. So there's an emulator called 3D Send VR that can play NES games in VR, and they're actually three-dimensional, and you can move around. Like this is Punch Out. I'm playing Punch Out in VR, and the developer recently added motion controls, so you punch, and Little Mac actually punches to match your punches. I found it kind of
Yeah.
hard to control though. I don't know if I was doing something wrong. I mean, maybe you have to punch slower than I was. It sometimes it worked well, sometimes it didn't. You put both hands forward to do a star punch, and to dodge to the left and right, you just kind of like move your head left and right. I thought it was cool. I mean, I managed to get up to I of course I beat Glass Joe, then I beat Von Kaiser, then I got up to Piston Honda, and I got pretty close to beating Piston Honda, but he knocked me out. I mean, it's cool. I mean,
What was that
aside from
game?
hmm,
What was that VR game that was like?
Knockout League,
Uh, oh yeah, where you're like fighting an octopus and all these crazy like characters.
yeah, I liked that game, but it got too hard. I don't know who I got. I might have gotten to the octopus, and then I gave up.
Yeah, that game's like really physical. You have to move a lot
Yeah,
in that game.
yeah. And I remember the first female fighter I fought. I had to fight her so many times before I could beat her. She had like a wolf hat on or something.
Yeah, she kicked my ass. I remember at the beginning.
Yeah. I'm gonna talk later about a game that's like Knockout League that's coming out.
Oh, really?
I think it comes out today,
Oh,
actually. Yeah, it comes
interesting.
out today. It might already be out on Quest, like App Lab or something, I think. But anyway, 3D
Yeah,
Send VR, I recommend because it can play. There's a list. It's on Steam. There's a whole list of games it supports where the developer had to go in each game and manually adjust the sprites. So it's not like some automatic thing. He had to manually make all this look right.
right.
Yeah. So I'll go to the. I mean, we can both talk about the next one. I can go to Walkabout Mini Golf Ice Lair. We played this together.
Oh yeah, another one.
And what was interesting about it was the fact that the ball will become a cube. So then,
Yep.
once it gets stuck as a cube, you obviously your physics have completely changed with how you're gonna get the ball down
Yeah, you're
the
like in an
green or
ice
whatever.
layer, so you'll well, sometimes you'll be on ice, and sometimes you'll be on just regular green. So if you're like you've got these freeze machines, so they'll freeze the ball, and then when you're on ice, it'll be like a puck, so it'll like slide across it. But then obviously when you're on the green, it's like bounces about all over the place. So you've kind of like it's yeah. I like the levels where they change up like the gameplay like this, and I enjoyed it
Yeah.
actually. I thought the levels were cool, like the environments were good. You go under the water, like underneath this ice thing, and you've got like fish swimming about, and you can see like outside into the water. And then at the end, you get like you activate this big laser thing, and yeah, I thought it was one of the better levels that they've done.
Yeah, the only issue we had was on the hard level, we had trouble finding some of the tokens? Were they penguin tokens or something?
Oh yeah, they were pretty tricky, and we had problems with stuff that didn't seem to work properly. So we were trying to like we knew what we needed to get, but we were like we'd have to stand at a perfect angle for it to like activate and stuff. So
Yeah,
it was
it
a little
seemed like
bit
a
buggy, and
yeah.
yeah,
I
and
was
you
just
you
gonna
I
say
think you
what
had
you
problems
said.
where your ball kind of got lost a couple of times, but then it didn't reset
Oh
as well.
yeah.
And we
Yeah,
had
my
to like
ball went down some grate and then we couldn't get to it and then yeah, it didn't reset. So what did we have to do? Start the level over? Or I don't remember what we
can't
did.
remember what we did, but yeah,
Oh, did
it's
we just both you then
oh I knocked it out
y-
as well. And we struck out. Yeah, I remember
yeah,
now.
we stroked out. We stroked it out together. Yeah.
Struck,
That's what
yeah,
we did.
baby.
Yeah. All right. Anything else on this?
No, it's just another good level. Another if you
Yeah.
like walkabout, I think I recommend it.
Okay, so now I'll go to CarnEvil, CarnEvil VR. CarnEvil was a 1998 arcade game, like a gun game. And this guy named Illuminati Dad requested me to play it. He made this and it's free. I did a video, and in the video in the description there's a link to it. And you
Someone
can
called Illuminati Dad.
he's called Illuminati Dad. I don't know why. I have
Okay.
no idea. So you have lots of different weapons, but you have to unlock these in the game. You'll find like it'll be something you'll shoot, and then it's permanently unlocked. So you start with just these regular handguns. If you're watching on YouTube, you can see the guns. There's a shotgun, flamethrower, Uzis, RPG, axe. There's an acid gun too that I've never unlocked. And the levels. So if you've ever played CarnEvil, the levels are pretty much the same as in the arcade game. Here I'm just messing around in the video shooting the RPG. And there's three main levels that you choose from: the haunted house, rickety town, and freak show. And you shoot the level to start it, and then this is kind of like the main character in the game, this face floating around, and he talks to you, and then you just go through the levels shooting these trolls and goblins and all sorts of different creatures. And if if you'd recognize all of this if you've played the game before.
Yeah.
Somebody actually requested CarnEvil years ago, and I didn't get around to playing it because it's kind of a hard game to run in MAME. So my
Yeah.
current MAME PC wasn't up to running it. So that's another PC I need to upgrade. But I've just been putting it off for a long time. But yeah, I recommend this. It's free. The only issue is that some of these fire effects, you only see it in one eye, so they look weird. So like that fire there, maybe it's in your left eye, but not your right eye, stuff like that. Some of the textures look a little weird, but that's about it. And once you beat these three stages, you unlock the fourth stage where you'll I think it's like a circus, or no, it's a zeppelin or something, and then you fight the final boss and you beat the game. So I can fast forward through. I mean, this is like the haunted house stage. And yeah, in here, some you can see. I don't know if you can see flickering on some of these walls. So there's like flickering textures.
Right.
Yeah. So I don't know. That's about. Oh yeah, there's a boss who I don't know. I guess she's supposed to be like Marie Antoinette or something. I don't know. All right, so we'll go to the next one. OVRDARK. I played the demo of this. Did you play the demo of OVRDARK or hear about it?
I've never heard of this game before.
Okay, well this is a horror game, kind of a puzzle game. It came out on PSVR on PSVR 2 first, so it's already out on PSVR 2, but on Steam it still says coming soon. I
Okay.
The people that played the PSVR 2 version, they've mostly been positive. Like, okay, so Gamertag and Beardo Benjo and Virtual Strangers, they've all been positive about this. I was not impressed by the demo. It felt to me like it's an indie game. It felt like a very early. It felt to me like an early horror game, like Paranormal Activity or Don't Knock Twice, one of those games.
Yeah.
I mean, the graphics are pretty nice, but it felt kind of janky and clumsy, and I don't know. I mean, maybe it's better on PSVR too. I have no idea. I don't know when the Steam version is going to come out. Oh, that I just saw something that reminded me. Holy shit, it was shockingly violent in this one scene. You
Right.
watch this guy like just brutally beat the shit out of his wife. It's like, holy shit.
Nice.
So this game is pretty dark.
Yes.
Yeah,
Sounds delightful.
the opposite of Tin Hearts.
Yeah. This is
Yeah,
if you want a game that's like gonna make you have nightmares
yeah,
because it's so
yeah,
fucking horrible, then
yeah,
yeah,
exactly.
cool.
So, I mean, I might try it when it comes to Steam. I don't know. What do we? Do you want to talk about? We already talked about Soul Calibur 6. Is that what we're talking about?
No. I mean,
Okay. Well, Gran Turismo.
yeah.
You want to talk about Gran Turismo 7 or Resident Evil 4 at all?
There's
No.
nothing to say. I keep playing them. I keep enjoying them. I haven't finished Resident Evil 4 yet. Still
Okay.
playing it. I still enjoy it. Great game. Yeah, it's just there's nothing else to say. It's just
Nothing
good.
really to say. Yeah. All right.
Mm.
Uh, well, I think maybe the biggest release. This has been a drought, like I said, but maybe the biggest release was Max Mustard. Is that the biggest
Right.
release this past month? I'm playing it
I
right now
think
on YouTube.
I did get a key for some other stuff. What did I get keys for? I can't remember now.
I asked for keys for this, never got them, so I haven't played it. It's because it's $30 and it's coming to Steam. I'd just rather wait for the Steam
Well,
version.
last month, yeah, past month has been nothing really. We've had like some
Yeah,
new stuff that's just come out, like Escape Simulator VR
yeah, that came out two
stuff.
days ago.
But we haven't had a chance
I
to play
haven't
them yet.
played it, but from what I read on the Steam discussions, it sounds like they haven't changed it from the demo. So you're not. I think other players aren't able to really see what you're doing with your hands. Is what it sounded like.
Yeah.
And you can't like point to things and stuff. But maybe they'll fix that. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't a deal breaker, but it would have been nice to see each other's like hands. I
Yeah.
think they've tried to
Still.
find a way to do it where they can just, rather than having to completely change the way the game works, I think they've tried to just make it so that you can play it as it is, so that if they update the game or anything, the flat game, it all works perfectly. It's not like a separate branch or anything. I think it's just like, I think they've done it in a way that kind of uses the flat game controls enough that you don't have to keep redoing every level and stuff, because there's loads of levels in that game. There's like thousands of custom levels and stuff.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
and it's free. It's free
We definitely
DLC. So,
recommend it. But yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. If you get the flat game, you get the VR version. Yeah.
So
Yeah. We would definitely recommend it, but it's just not a perfect VR implementation.
yeah, just don't
Yeah.
expect it to be like an absolute perfect made for VR game. But if you want an escape room co-op game, I think it's the co-op stuff that I like the most, because
Yeah.
just being able to do that stuff together, solve puzzles together, is just really cool. I like stuff like Walkabout. For me, it isn't just about the golf; it's about just meeting up with you guys, just having a chat, and just
Mm-hmm.
catch up, like a social event almost. So
Yeah.
escape rooms is just another one of those things where we can have a chat whilst we're also trying to solve puzzles. So
Yeah. All right. So I'll go to upcoming now. this game Madison VR has gotten delayed. I don't know how many times it's gotten delayed again.
I thought it had already come out, actually. Has it not?
No, it hasn't come out. So they said that a new Unity SDK just came out, and they want to convert the game to that new SDK because the new SDK will allow them to go to 90 hertz on PSVR 2, whereas the version they already have could only do 60
I think it
upscaled.
opens up. I think it allows you to do like the foveated rendering eye tracks, like
Oh, is that what it is? Oh, okay.
before it was like really hard to do. Whereas now I think
Mhm.
Unity have got it so that you can just activate it now. So which is what they need. Like every game, like these Unreal Engine and Unity need to make it so that for the eye tracking, it's just a checkbox. Like there's no reason why they
Yeah.
shouldn't be able to do that. So
Yeah. So they just, I don't know when I think they didn't really give a date. So who knows? Who knows? Maybe it comes out in 2025. I don't know. Because they keep delaying this game. So I don't know. Okay, so here's that game I was saying was like Knockout League, Mutant Boxing League VR. It's coming to PC today, April 4th. And, it looks kind of like Knockout League, but more questy graphics. I think it's like I think I said I think it's on App Lab right now. I don't know how good it is. I have no idea, but I'm curious about it. I don't know. Hopefully, it's
yeah,
not mostly just some fitness thing because I'm not interested in that.
it looks stuff like this. Honestly, I don't know. I don't like getting sweaty in VR. So
I don't
if
either.
it's too physical, like this looks
Yeah.
like it's one of those kind of like box VR type things where it's just like a
Yeah,
lot
they
of
keep
flips
showing
and
this
stuff.
training crap. All I would care about is the fighting.
Yeah,
I don't know. Uh, yeah, like a game like Sprint Vector. God, I played that once and
yeah,
I was just like, nope, never again.
yeah. It's
Because it's
just
just
you don't want to do that like when you've just finished work and you're in your normal clothes, you've showered. You don't want to then freaking get all sweaty and then I don't like something that's too physical in VR.
and I don't like getting my headset all sweaty. I just don't want it to get all that to get stinky and shit, and the interface to have just constantly have to like wash the interface or something. I
Mm.
don't know. All right, so here's another one. I don't know. I liked Plants vs Zombies and Plants vs Zombies 2 on my phone, so I put this here. Toy Monsters. This looks just like Plants vs Zombies. It's a mixed reality for Quest 3 or Quest. I don't know if it's on Quest 2 also. This comes out April 11th. I'm mildly interested. I don't know how well the hand tracking works, but it's a hand tracking game.
Right.
I don't know if you have to do hand tracking or what, but I'm mildly interested in this.
Yeah.
Did you play Plants vs Zombies when that was on phones?
I do remember it. I don't really remember getting into it that much though. 'Cause
Okay.
I know it's like a massive, massive game. Like people
Yeah.
love that game, but for some reason, yeah, I just never really like got into it that much. But yeah, if you're into that sort of game, then this definitely looks like something you might want to play.
Yeah. All right. So now Big Shots. Have you heard about this game? Big Shots, where you're in a mech.
No, I haven't.
It has co-op. It's two-player co-op. It comes out April 18th on all platforms.
Right.
So sort of like Vox Machina, but it looks more cartoony. And this looks more like this. Unfortunately, this does look more like a wave shooter type of thing. I'm only going
Right.
by what I'm seeing in the video. I don't actually know. I don't know. Maybe there are levels that you go through. I don't know. So that's all I know about it.
Never heard of it, so I don't know.
EA Sports WRC. This is getting a VR support possibly at the end of April. They said that's what they're shooting for.
Yeah, I'm looking
So
forward to this.
yeah, this has mixed reviews on Steam, but some of that is people complaining about it not having VR.
Which is fucking annoying since they
Yeah,
announced right at the beginning they announced that VR was coming. It's like
yeah, I know.
they never said they weren't bringing VR, so to leave a negative review because it hasn't got VR yet is just fucking moronic. to be honest.
There were also negative reviews where people complaining about they go to the title screen and then right on the title screen there's all this like buy the season pass to get access to this, and that pissed people off.
I mean,
But
again, it's like the game has so much content.
yeah,
It's like they want everything for free afterwards. It's like, okay,
yeah,
well, if you don't want to pay for it, don't pay for it. You just don't get the extra content. It's not like the game came with virtually nothing in it.
mhm.
It's got like Dirt Rally times like 5. It's got so much, like so many stages and tracks and stuff. It's like the biggest rally game ever made.
Do you know if there's what the difference is between this, other than okay, it has more tracks, I guess. What's the difference between this and Dirt Rally 1 and 2?
Yeah,
Because
it's just it's
I
just
don't
more of
know
the
anything
same.
about this stuff. More the
It's just more
same.
of the same. Yeah, it's just more tracks, new tracks. Yeah, it's if you like Dirt Rally and stuff, then this is basically the new Dirt Rally, effectively. Uh,
Okay.
they've got the official license for the World Rally Championship now.
All right. With these upcoming things, by the way, I pretty much just put things that interest me. There's other stuff that's coming out that like I don't care about, so I don't bother mentioning it. But usually
Yeah,
like it'll be a lot of Quest games that I just don't care about them. So Metal Hellsinger VR is getting like an actual VR release in 2024 on all platforms. It has a mod already, but you said you tried the mod and said the performance isn't good, right?
the performance was terrible. I couldn't even get it to play on my
Yeah.
PC.
So I assume they're going to just, maybe dumb down the graphics a little bit and make it
Well,
playable.
they're bringing it out for the Quest, so it's definitely going to be.
Has to be, yeah, dumbed down.
I mean, don't forget these modders, like they don't have access to the source code. They can't change like the structure of the way that the rendering works or anything. So they could have changed the render pipeline because there's two different versions of Unity. Like the one that they use in the flat game just doesn't work well in VR. So they could have just switched over to the um, standard, like older Unity rendering engine, which is what works best in VR anyway.
Hmm. I didn't know that. Okay. Oh yeah. So this game, do you have to shoot on the beat? Is that the only way to actually progress, or can you just shoot
No,
whenever you want?
you can shoot whenever you want, but I think like, if you shoot on the beat, the enemies die quicker and stuff, and obviously you've got like
Okay.
scores. Yeah, I mean, to be honest, you kind of I know what you're saying, but you kind of end up shooting to the beat anyway because you just I think you'll like this game. Honestly, like the music's obviously proper heavy
Yeah.
metal,
I mean, yeah, I love that.
and like you just naturally just find yourself like shooting to the beat as you play,
Huh.
and if you kind of do well, the song evolves. Like you'll get the instrumental, then you'll have like more of the music, and then it like ramps up, and then if you're doing really well, like you get the full like vocals and everything. So you get rewarded that way as well with the gameplay. If you like really if you can shoot on the beat and do well in it, you get this like multiplayer, and then the music gets better, and yeah, it's a
Here,
good game. I actually enjoyed it. I just thought the performance was really bad.
here's something surprising I heard from Wes. Uh, we used to be Alex and I used to be in Virtual Strangers. So Wes of Virtual Strangers. He said that the artists composed this music specifically for this game, so there's no copyright issue with the music, which really surprised me.
I think
So
I actually listen to the soundtrack as well sometimes. Like when I'm working out, I'll put this soundtrack on, and I actually really like. I don't like. I'm not massively into heavy metal, but I actually it's kind of like Doom, where Doom's got that music that's really like
yeah.
it's really good,
Mm-hmm.
and it's kind of got more mainstream appeal. And this is kind of like that, where it's got that. Yeah, I think the music's really good, uh, and the gameplay. Yeah, I think it's a good game.
I still haven't played that latest Doom game because I've just been waiting for like a VR mod or something. What the hell is it
There's
called?
supposed to be one coming, Doom Eternal.
Doom Eternal, yeah. But isn't that just one of those 3D window ones?
No, it's gonna be. Did you ever play Wolfenstein
Yeah, I
New
didn't like
Colossus?
that. I didn't like that at
Right.
all.
Yeah, it's like
Uh,
that. It's gonna be like
Okay,
that.
I won't play that. Nah.
Okay.
I'll wait for like a real VR mod. The what was it the game again?
Doom Eternal.
No, the Colossus thing. What was that? Wolfenstein.
Oh,
Well,
Wolfenstein New
the
Colossus.
the new Colossus. Yeah, that one looks so weird to me. When I was just moving my head around, I remember it just like looked strangely warped.
Yeah, I think there was some slight weirdness to the head movement, if I remember. I just played it seated with a gamepad, and I
Yeah.
did really enjoy it. But
You
yeah,
played it all the
I
way
mean,
through?
yeah, I thought
Oh
it was great.
wow. Huh.
There's, I don't know if you've put this in the doc, but there's like a new studio that's set up called Flat to VR Studios.
Uh-huh.
Um, they've set up, like, they've teamed up with Team Beef, so maybe it's possible that Team Beef could do like the Doom, the newer Doom games and stuff. I don't know.
Okay. I hope so.
Could be, yeah.
Yeah. So that's why I haven't bothered to play it flat because once I've beaten the game, I'm like a lot less likely to want to go through it again in VR.
The thing is, they've actually got obviously they've got Doom VFR, so they've
Yeah.
already got a lot of the groundwork. Like they've got the weapons
Yeah.
in VR, like they've got motion controls and everything. So I feel like it wouldn't be that difficult for them to like, take that and just put it into Doom 2016 and Doom uh,
I know.
Eternal.
Yeah.
Because I thought that was good. I enjoyed it. It was just really short. That's the main
Yeah, I
thing.
did too. Yeah, I liked it. And I think what was it like initially was there no free loco or something and then they had to add it? There's something
Yeah,
weird
they
with
added it. They
okay.
added some stuff and like, it was a bit blurry by default, so you had to make some tweaks and stuff. But
Okay.
I really enjoyed that game. I thought it was really good.
Yeah. All right, I'll go to the next game. This is the last of our upcoming games. This is also 2024. This is Riven, the sequel to Myst. This trailer is just this
Yeah, they've not got
circle,
any gameplay or anything yet.
but they gave some images. This is okay. This is Riven coming 2024, 2D and VR. It doesn't say what platforms, but Myst is on Quest and it's on Steam, and I'm sure it's on PSVR too.
Yeah,
I assume. So
I think so.
here's some screenshots. This is so it's just gonna cycle through some of the screenshots. I've never played Riven. Have you?
No, it's basically Mist, isn't it? Really,
Yeah,
it's just
probably.
Mist, but with new
I
environment.
heard it's harder.
To be honest, I heard a lot of people say that Mist's really hard, but
Hmm.
other than a couple of little sections, I actually managed to get through that game, so
Yeah, and
I'm
I
okay
played
with
Myst when
that.
I was a kid, but I never beat it.
Yeah,
So going into Myst, I already knew what I was gonna encounter. I like that with
right.
this one, I'm gonna be going in blind, pretty much, other than these screenshots.
Yeah, I think the Mist remake in VR was actually really good. I enjoyed it.
Yeah,
One of my favorite
yeah.
puzzle games. Like visually, it was really impressive. Like I loved like you like get teleported to these different kind of planets almost, and like they looked really cool. Like being into these different areas.
Yeah, I remember being a kid, and when you play Myst back then, it's just a still image. And then I
Yeah,
guess there was some full motion video, maybe sort of between when you're moving between the scenes.
yeah. It was kind of like
I'm
that
trying to
age where they do
remember.
like FMV full motion video kind of gameplay where
Yeah.
you couldn't actually do anything, but it was all. I remember there was a game called Tomcat Alley. Can you remember that?
Yes,
Where
I had that for Sega CD. Yeah.
yeah, I remember that. Well, that it was all video, and you had to like time. It was like a quick time event game where you had to time button presses and stuff.
So
And as a kid, that was
you had a Mega CD?
yeah, Mega CD. Yeah,
I didn't know that. How have we never talked about this?
I don't know.
Maybe we have. Maybe we have and I forgot.
I
But
had I had a Sega Mega Drive, and then I had the Mega CD, which was like the thing that you plugged in on top.
yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I was a
So
Sega
no,
kid, so I had every Sega system. So what other games did you have for Mega CD?
honestly, I can't remember. I don't think there
Okay.
were that many games, from what I remember.
Do you have Night Trap or Sewer Shark?
Maybe, but I can't remember them. I
Okay,
can
that
just
was Night
remember that Tomcat Alley. Maybe.
Okay, Night Trap is the one with the girls. They're like having like a slumber party, and then these
Oh, yeah,
monster
like that one.
guys. It was just dudes dressed up in black that would come into the house, and you would just have to press A, B, or C basically to trigger a
Right.
trap to trap the monsters. They were called augurs, is what the monsters were called. I don't know.
Okay.
It and it was like controversial at the time. It was like, ooh, this is like too racy. There's no nudity or anything. I don't know. It was stupid. It was like around the time Mortal Kombat was causing controversy
All
and
right.
all that. Yeah. So that's it for the show. I don't know anything else. Can you think of any other upcoming releases?
No, we've not got lots on the horizon at the moment. I know there's lots of stuff in the works. But yeah, we don't know. There's that Metro game and stuff, but yeah, it looks like this year's going to be a little bit quieter than last year. I felt like the year we had loads of stuff coming out all the time, but this year's been a little bit quieter, a
Yeah.
bit less games coming out. But we always
I'm
seem to
looking at
find something to play.
now I'm looking at my I have a video games beaten list. I'm looking at my Sega CD, and not many games that I beat on that thing. I'm gonna listen say
That's
them
a
out.
what? Yeah, there
Ever
weren't
hear
many games to
of
play.
Did you hear of Adventures of Willie Beamish? Did you hear that?
No.
Okay, that was a totally cartoon animated thing. Sonic CD,
Yeah, I played that.
Slam City starring Scottie Pippen,
What the fuck? No, never heard of that before.
Supreme Warrior.
Nope.
That was a one-on-one first person fighting game, which at the time I thought was so cool. Um Anyway, I have Tomcat Alley listed here. I must have beaten that. And then Wonder Dog. Did you ever hear of Wonder Dog?
No,
No?
never heard
All
of
right. That's
Underdog.
a European game. Came out from some European country. I can't remember where. All right, well
Interesting.
that's it. Um
Cool. Thank you
what
for
were you
listening,
saying
everybody.
what were you saying before I interrupted about Sega CD?
I don't remember.
Oh, okay. All right, well hopefully next month has more to talk about. And hopefully I don't have
Yeah.
to just like go back into my backlog and look for games that I don't really want to play.
We still seem to find stuff. You should play Tin Hearts. I think that's worth playing.
Oh yeah, okay.
I'm enjoying that because I bought a PSVR 2. For me, I've still got plenty of games I want to play, so I'm kind of spoiled because I still haven't finished Resident Evil 4, Horizon. I've got GT7. It's like those three alone, are, like worth playing. So
Yeah, okay.
yeah.
Oh yeah, and maybe I'll upgrade my PC maybe, and then I'll try Forbidden West and some of those Far Cry things. I don't know, or maybe there's lots of UEVR games that I should probably be trying that I haven't. I don't
Yeah, I
know.
installed RoboCop, but I've still not played it yet. Still, like I say, if I'm playing a game, I kind of want to just play PSVR 2 stuff at the moment,
Hmm,
mostly.
okay.
And I ain't got much time lately to play games, to be honest.
Yeah.
I'm not really had the time to play a lot this last month.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm still finding stuff to play. Still enjoying VR.
Yeah. All right. Think
Alrighty,
that's it.
doodly poopy,
Doodly poopy. See you
doodly
later.
poop. Bye.
Bye.